extremely dangerous. But again, you've always got to plan, you've got to anticipate, and I'm sure the communication taking place between the dispatch, the supervisor. So if everybody just calms down and follows in the pursuit, everybody's going to get a position. And if this vehicle comes to a stop, they'll have a tactical procedure take place, how they'll deploy. But it looks like they've got at least a dozen, if not more, law enforcement vehicles that are involved in this pursuit.
Quite something to see all those law enforcement vehicles in this pursuit. It's now 10:17. I'm Alex Michelson with Christine Devine. You're watching Breaking News here on the Fox 11 News at 10 o'clock. A pursuit is underway. We are getting reports that the driver of that vehicle or the passenger of that vehicle fired shots at deputies as part of this pursuit, that this was started as a stolen vehicle pursuit. And now it is in the Santa Clarita Valley, approaching the San Fernando Valley. There is a long line of cars. We've seen parts of the 14 freeway shut down to try to keep the public safe. We're now transitioning onto the 5 freeway. That's where we're about to go to, and it's going to be interesting to see which direction this car moves to next.
Getting a little information on this vehicle real quick, Dennis. We understand that the hood is up.
Here we go. So we got sparks on the wow, this car may be coming apart. We'll see if this causes this driver to stop. Clearly there's some sort of problem with the engine or with the wheels. Will this person pull over, or will they keep going with this flames? You feel for this driver here who's randomly now in the middle of all of this.
One of our sources is saying that this car hit spike strips earlier.
Wow.
Went through a couple of fences in Palmdale. And if we hear that the hood is up, we are understanding then that there's some kind of damage perhaps to this car causing this situation right here.
I mean, how desperate this person is. You wonder how much control this driver may have over this car. Will they just stop and give up at this point with all those sparks flying? It's going to be interesting to see what this person does. Do they pull over? It looks like they're pulling over.
Well, if they don't have much control of the car, they might not be able to go too much further.
Remember this. Okay, now this person got out and is on the run. Driving over that embankment, trying to run onto the other side of the freeway. Here we go, running onto the active freeway. Are they going to jump over? Whoa! Now into the lanes of traffic.
Oh my gosh!
Uh-oh, we got to be careful.
Whoa! Oh.
There we go. Desperate move.
Oh my gosh!
Okay.
Oh my gosh!
All right, maybe we want to pull out a little bit here. You see, police. We'll see if they're able to stop traffic. This person their foot may have been run over.
Wow!
Wow!
This is unlike anything we've ever seen. There,
Okay,
this person
now
trying to carjack another vehicle.
Did they fire? Were there shots fired? Now they're jumping on top of this person.
Very dangerous there as deputies are trying to stop those vehicles.
Wow!
Looks like they're fighting there with the suspect. We have a number of deputies there. They've been able to stop that traffic, and looks like they're going to get a handle there on that situation.
It looked like he tried to possibly carjack somebody. There may have been some shots fired at that point. I mean, that was wild to see him run across several lanes of freeway traffic that was going probably 65, 70 miles per hour at night, not knowing that a person would run onto the freeway. There's another person there, too. You wonder if that's the passenger of this vehicle.
Or I might think somebody from another car.
Yeah.
Perhaps they got out of their car.
Originally, there were reports that there were 2 people inside that vehicle. It looked like we only saw 1 person leave it. So you wonder if that passenger went in another direction or if law enforcement was able to apprehend that person.
I can't imagine law enforcement would let that person get over there on the freeway as well and get so close to them as they're making this arrest here. But that was, Alex, truly something I've never seen. I'm sure you either.
I mean, hopefully our team can try to rewind some of that video and get some of that video back so we can watch that again, because that really was an amazing thing. There was so much happening so quickly. It was hard, and I think we may have come off of some of that and come to us because we were afraid of what we might see. But that was about as dangerous a pursuit as we've seen in some time.
Did it look to you like a deputy might have fallen in this chase?
It looks like the suspect wasn't cooperating. Obviously, on the ground, a number of deputies trying to put their hands.
So somebody's getting out of this car. We don't know if this is the passenger. We see somebody getting out of the car with the arms up. So the driver, as we said, did get out and make a run for it. But interestingly, the passenger was in that vehicle the whole time. We do not know if this person is armed or not. There were reports earlier that there were 2 people armed in this vehicle. So now they're going to be extra careful with this person. They'll ask him eventually to get down on the ground on the freeway, and then they'll swarm him and make sure that he is not have any guns on him, now walking backwards.
So, Dennis, we may have to interrupt you as things are changing here so rapidly. But if we hear that this vehicle did hit some spike strips, perhaps there was some damage to the vehicle that caused it to become disabled there. Thoughts?
Either that or a mechanical breakdown with the left front, the wheel, the rim, something to that effect. It's very unusual to use a spike strip on a freeway. However, in that particular roadway, the 14 southbound, with very light traffic, it's very possible we would have seen a police vehicle along that freeway. We never saw a police vehicle.
In Palmdale. So, I think in Palmdale.
Well, way before then, but normally the spike strip will activate and it would deflate the tire. It doesn't take normally that long at that speed for that tire to deflate. That would be unusual to go that distance on a deflated tire, but something prompted that left front to start sparking and obviously came to a stop. Very unusual to jump on. Now, again, at night, those motorists that are traveling on that roadway, coming home from work, going to a destination, all of a sudden there's a pedestrian in front of them. The direction where the driver ran, those folks had no idea what was going on. And all of a sudden, they're on a freeway at night in the dark, and all of a sudden there's a pedestrian in front of them. And the individual did not want to be taken into custody. As you saw a number of deputies trying to take that person into custody. The second individual, the passenger, obviously surrendered peacefully. But now you've got that freeway north and south blocked up, and it's going to be blocked up for quite a while. But thank goodness it's what we call coming to an end, a successful conclusion. But now they'll get the evidence, they'll get the impound, et cetera. They'll get both suspects in custody. They're going to search that car to see if there's any other suspects in that car. They've been in the back seat on the floor. But fortunately, it's come to an end as far as the vehicle pursuit. But it was interesting how that driver was on that freeway at the darkness, and it may have been hit, but with everything that was going on was not complying with the directions of the deputies, and they were using what force was necessary to take that individual into custody, who was resisting, violently resisting from the view that we were seeing on the screen.
I mean, there was a lot going on very quickly, and now we see the officers breaking the window in the back of this vehicle. You wonder if there's anybody else in that vehicle. Why would they be breaking the window?
Well, they looking to see. They want to make sure. They've got the ballistic panel that they're utilizing. They're up on the car to find out. I don't know why they wouldn't open the door.
Just open the door if there's not somebody in there, right?
Exactly. They've got enough illumination with the flashlights. I don't know what the issue was with breaking the window.
I think, and I don't know if you saw this, Christine, it looked to me when all that craziness was happening, and this is why I would love if we could get that video turned around, that there were some shots fired either by officers or by that guy right around where that car is. And that might be why we're seeing so many flashlights looking for potential evidence, looking for potential bullets. But there was a lot that happened quickly. And I don't know, it appeared as if the driver may have tried to run, may have gotten hit on his foot or something. Then it seemed it may have tried to carjack another vehicle. And at that point, there may have been shots fired by the officers.
Our assignment team saying that there was a rifle on the ground believed to be the suspect. So perhaps there is something to that. Dennis, go ahead.
Well, I would question that if the suspect, because the deputies had to exit their vehicle, the suspect obviously came to the shoulder, jumped out, took off over that center median. But if there was no weapon in that individual's hand and there was some illumination, I would question, unless the suspect was firing at the deputies, the fact that the individuals running away, I would question if they were engaged in gunfire at that time, unless they actually saw a weapon or the individual running away. But it looked like he was running as he transferred over to the other direction.